Hi and welcome to the Azam Sharp channel. I'm your host Mohammad Azam and we'll be continuing the Swift tutorials, and in this tutorial we'll be going over the Swift collections, which comprises of the arrays and dictionaries. So let's get started. So how do I declare an array in Swift? So you can simply say let numbers, and you can say whatever you want over here. So this is a numbers collection and numbers array. Now you will notice that we are not really saying that this is an integer array because it is inferred from the value that we are actually assigning it over here. Okay, so it's already inferred. One of the interesting things is if I say numbers.append, and if I want to append a certain number, it will not be allowed, and the reason is that we are saying that the numbers parameter over here is a constant parameter, so you cannot really change it once it's already been assigned. Okay, so in order to do that, simply change it to var, and now everything works as expected. So if I say numbers over here, you'll see that the 56 is now added. Cool, right? What else? If you want to declare something, sometimes you do want to initialize an array with some value. So you can say over here integer, and not sure why it's sometimes comes, sometimes, here we go, let's see, here we go, count. So let's say the array is 10, and the repeated value that we are going to initialize it will be 10, 0. Okay, so now we have initialized an array with 10 items, and each item is a 0. So this will be a good way to initialize an array if you want to do that. But of course, arrays can also be numbers, alphabets. So you can say over here Alex, and you can say over here Mary and John and whatever, right? Like David. And this will be a string array. And you can also initialize this string array using the plain old syntax. All right. Iterating into the array. So iterating through an array. So let's just declare this simple array. We have Mary over here and Alex. So this is a simple array, and if I want to iterate through the array, so I can say customer in customers, okay, and I can iterate through just like the normal loop. But sometime I want to get the index and the value of the customer when I'm iterating. So in that scenario, you can use the enumerate function, which will return you an index and a value. That is super useful because now you can simply say print lines. I can say the index, and then you can say over here, what is it? Index contains the value and then the value itself. Okay? Let's go ahead and see this. Okay, so make sure to use this guy. So here we go. The index 0 contains the value Azam, the index 1 contains the value John, and so on. So you can see that how easy it is to iterate through and get the index and the value at the same time. And there are a lot of scenarios that when you're iterating through an array, you need to find the index basically and the value associated with that particular iteration, associated with that array. You can also, and now this is pretty much about the arrays, right? I mean, you can use it in different things. You can have, as I said, you can have a repeated value and a count, so your arrays always initialize with a desired number of items, and the These items can be anything that you really want. Let's move to dictionaries. Airports is a good example for dictionaries. So we have IAH airport, which is George Bush Intercontinental Airport. We also have many different airports. Let's just say SJO airport, and let's say this is a Costa Rica airport. Let's say this is Costa Rica. Okay, so and here we go. You have these values are IAH, and then the SGO is Costa Rica. Okay, now as you might have expect that if you want to change the value of something, so you can simply say IAH equal to I don't know, let's say Houston Airport. But of course, let's get an error. So this is basically, if you say var, the problem will go away. Because once you declare it with let, you cannot really change values. So it becomes a constant. But if you say var airports, then you can change the values. Now there are multiple ways of changing the values of basically the dictionary. You can say airports.update value, okay, and the value that you need to pass in. So in this case, the value that you really need to pass in is Houston Airport, and the key that you're passing is IAH. Now, the good thing about the update value is that it will return you the last value that was there. So it will return you basically the old value. And you can see over here, it returns you George Bush Intercontinental Airport instead of the newly set value, which is the Houston Airport. So in certain scenarios where you do want to get the last value or the old value, the update value will be a beneficial usage over there. Same concept, but the remove value for key. So if you want to remove the value IAH, it will return you the last value that was there in the airport's dictionary of that particular key IAH, and the last value for IAH before it was removed was Houston Airport. And of course, you can access all the keys using airports.keys and airports.values. You can access all the values, just like the for loop over here that we were using for a index. I mean, for the array, you can simply use it in the airports, and you can, you know, get the index and the value. So basically, inside this, you can get the index and value, which makes iterating through a dictionary very, very easy. And that is pretty much it about the collections in Swift. Now, of course, there are many different ways that you can use collections in Swift, and this will definitely get you started on the right track for using the arrays and the dictionaries that are provided in the Swift programming language. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.